I found 2 reasons not to buy this pest repeller first. I will cover both, but plus 5 reasons I still use mine every day. All right, reason not to buy number 2. This thing takes 3 to 4 weeks, and week 1 can look worse than the day you plugged it in. The listing says it straight out. A bump in activity during week 1 is normal because they get pushed out of the nest and go looking for new ones. So you hear more than my reviewers say the same thing about that first week. Then my house went silent. If you have something in your pantry tonight and you need to go on by Friday, this is not your tool. Go to get a trap for that. Stick with me because at the end I'll tell you flat out who should skip this and who should buy it. First, here is why mine is still plugged in. Reason to buy number 5. It costs you almost nothing to run. This pulls 3 to 5 watts. That is less than a night light in my hallway, and it runs 24 hours a day. You put the adapter in a standout and walk away. There's no battery to swap, no bait to set out, no schedule to keep. And I'm a guy who unplugs the space heater in the garage because I picture the meter spinning. This one I forgot about for a month and my bill did not move. That matters more than it sounds because the whole idea is running it around the clock for weeks. I think you have to remember to switch on never gets 3 to 4 weeks of runtime. Reason to buy number 4 is the handy display on the front. That sounds like small until you remember what the device does. It puts out a small sound you cannot hear between 25 and 65 kilowatts. Without the screen and the dials to be able to see what it is, you're just guessing. This display shows the active mode and working status, so you walk past it and confirm it's running and still sets where you left it. Few people mention that this display is what keeps them going through the slow weeks. My wife checked it 3 times the first week, which tells you how much faith she had in me. It also makes the mode obvious, so it's nobody bumps into it, another setting, and leaves it on there for 3 months. Now, number 3 is the reason I let this run with my dogs in the house. All right, reason to buy number 3. Nothing gets set, nothing gets swallowed. No snap trap on the floor, no glue board, no poison block in the corner of the garage. This listing calls this an alternative to trap and poison, and that's the part I care about. Duke, my dog, he's 120 pounds, and he checks every corner of the garage with his nose. Coco follows him and gets there a second. A bait station out there, a bad idea with 2 traps around, and the snare trap under the workbench is worse. This one designed to be used around children, dogs, cats, and sits on the wall where nobody is licking it. You also skip other half of the trap job, which is walking out there and dealing with whatever you caught. I have done that at 6 in the morning now before the last 2 reasons. All right. Now the last 2 reasons, here's the other thing that you might want to send you away from buying this. Reason not to buy number 1, it has to go in the right spot and your wall might not have that one. The listing says put it vertically 10 to 15 inches above the floor, so that sound spreads the way it should. The rules out there, that rules out the outlet behind the dresser. It rules out one with a power strip hanging off of it and the one your couch backs up to. So walk in the room you care about tonight and look at your outlets. Basement, garage, pantry, wherever you hear that noise at night, if the only open outlet is in that room sits behind the furniture, you're not moving it. Don't definitely buy this. You can't. It's not going to do the job for you. Other buyers said the outlet spot took more planning than they pictured. Now stay to the end, I tell you exactly who should walk away and who should buy this. Number 2 and 1 are why mine is still on the wall. All right, reason to buy number 2. It's built for more than mice. That sounds run from 25 to 65 kilohertz, and that spread is why the listing names mice, rats, squirrels, and there's the loudest sound. Most guys buy for one problem and one problem only. You hear something in the attic, so you buy a mouse thing. And then in August, the spiders show up in the basement and you're back online looking for a second device. This one takes crawling stuff, furry stuff at the same time and the same plug. My problem started in the garage and I would have told you that was the mouse problem. It was a mouse problem and a spider problem. And I found that out after I moved the box off the shelf. Number 1 is one that changed how I run this thing. And right after that, I tell you who should skip this and who should buy this. All right, reason number 1, you should buy this. There are 3 modes. The third one is the one nobody uses. 2 will run quiet, and those are your daily settings. For the room you set up, 3rd puts out a sharp sound. That's the sound you heard a bit ago. You can hear, and the listing says to use it only where nobody sits. All right, that's the loud noise. Or in the house when you're gone. Most people never touch this setting. They flip it on once in the living room, get annoyed about 4 seconds and switch it back off. Here's what to do instead. Run the quiet mode while you were at home. When we leave for the weekends, I walk over and put it on loud mode. The one guy mentioned during the same thing in his crawl space, you get the strong setting without living inside of it. And it costs you 5 seconds on the way out the door. All right, here's the call I was going to make. So who should skip this? If you need the problem gone in a week, skip it because 3 to 4 weeks is the timeline and a week 1 can get louder before it gets quieter. Skip it too if the only outlet in your room hides behind a dresser and you're not moving it. And if you keep a hamster or a pet rodent, the listing tells you to stay away from this one, so listen to that as well. All right, who should buy this? The guy who sealed the gaps, set the traps, and still hears something at night, who wants this thing on the walls working 24 hours a day while he goes back to his life. Plug it in, leave it alone for a month, and let it do its slow work for you. If that sounds like your garage and your area, add this to your cart now, and you can thank me later. All right, guys, as always, remember 2 things here. Number 1, deals fade, so go add that to your cart now. Number 2, the product bro is always here for you.